Why am I out here at 3 a.m. running while everyone's asleep? The reason I'm out here running is a very simple reason. Fulfillment. I was laying down in bed, doom scrolling, sitting on my fucking phone. I had anxiety. I'm thinking about girls. I'm thinking about my fucking ex. And I could have just sat there and just kept doom scrolling. And I was like, yo, I guess I'll just fucking watch YouTube until I pass out at 4 or 5 a.m. or some shit, right? I didn't feel good. Mentally, physically, I'm extremely tired. I'm extremely stressed out right now, a little anxious. But I sat down and I realized, where do I get my true fulfillment? Where do I actually get happy from? Do I get happy from these chicks, from doom scrolling, doing drugs? None of that stuff is actually real happiness, right? It's all just fucking stuff that's keeping me from reaching my full potential. Things that I'm using to numb my mind. Things that we all use to numb our mind. Substances, women, doom scrolling, watching useless bullshit content that's not teaching us anything. So I fucking got up out of bed. And I had every excuse in the book not to run, not to go on a run, on like a 3 or 4 mile run at this time. It's too late. My mind was saying shit like, it's too late. It's Christmas. Fucking chill. It's Christmas. Fucking Christmas just passed. You can relax. Oh, you don't feel good mentally. You have a little headache going. Like, yeah, I had a little headache going too. I just didn't feel right. I felt empty. And I was overthinking a bunch of shit. But the second I started running down the road, I put on my shoes. Something willed me to get out of that fucking bed, out of that dark spot, laying in my bed, sweating. I fucking said no. Self-improvement, becoming my best self, that's the fucking goal. Not worrying about these women, not worrying about girls, not worrying about bullshit, about bills, about fucking just random people that don't even matter. None of that fucking matters. I don't feel fulfilled thinking about this shit. Why am I chasing this stuff inside of my mind like I'm fucking living in some fantasy world or some shit? And the second I went down the road, guys, I put on my shoes, I put on my shirt, my beanie, I fucking took off. And I felt light as a feather once I got down the street. And like a fucking energy, literally, I felt goosebumps on my skin. I felt weightless. I felt like I was breaking out of a fucking dark place. Like making that decision to go running, making that decision not to just sit there laying in my anxiety all fucking night. Just using self-awareness, just doing what the fuck I want. You know what? All right, I want to run. I want to feel better. I'm tired of feeling like shit. And that's what I broke out of. I was tired of it, for hours. For fucking like 6 hours, I just felt like shit. And I was like, no, dude. I don't want to feel this way. I don't want to feel like fucking shit. I don't want to feel helpless or fucking anxious. Like, I'm taking control of this situation. I'm taking control of this situation right now. And I'm fucking doing something. Whether that's push-ups, whether that's running, whether that's fucking picking up my room or doing some chores or some shit. It frees you. It freed me. And I was thinking when I was running, I was thinking about all the bad habits I had in my life. The fucking, like, porn, the fucking drugs, weed, fucking all this nonsense, all this shit that was holding me back from my true self. And what I did to fix it. How did I break out of that? I was thinking, how the fuck did I break out of that? What did I do as a human being to get out of that dark hole? I fucking started running. I started working out. I just started doing shit. I started picking up my room. I started fucking working on a business. I dedicated my time. I learned a new language. I started learning fucking Spanish. Now I can speak Spanish, right? Like, I dedicated time. Like, I listened to fucking audiobooks and shit. I practiced. I did things that kept my mind and my soul away from the bad shit. I replaced the bad shit with the good stuff. With fucking productive stuff. With stuff that's actually gonna make me happy. And you know, I realized something, yo, when I was running, I had to record this video because I was like, dude, just a moment ago, I was wallowing in a fucking dark, like, energy or vibe or whatever. And all I had to do was just get up. And that literally changed my entire mood. I literally transformed my energy from negative to positive. I was able to break my fucking chains, my self-imposed chains. And now I'm in a mental state where I feel optimistic. I feel good. I can think clearly now. I can make a rational decision. I can speak with confidence. I can fucking do what I want. I can choose my destiny. And part of this, what I'm trying to teach you guys here is take control. Take control of your situation. If you guys are like in a bad mood or life just sucks, you don't have to put up with it. You don't have to just put up, and just because you're having a bad day that you have to just accept that it's a bad day, or just accept that you're in a bad mood, or just, oh, you know, it'll pass or whatever. Like, no. You can take control of your situation. You can really take control and change your destiny. Like, we have free will. We have free will. We can do these things. Like, it's one of the like powers that we have as human beings, is having the option to walk away from a situation, to make our own decisions, to get ourselves out of a negative mindset, to think, change our mindset, change our perspective, change how we're seeing things in that moment. Because thinking in a negative way, being stuck in that fucking thought loop that's running in your head, you're thinking about that girl, you're thinking about that ex-best friend that fucked you over, you're thinking about fucking the bills that are coming up, the rent, and it's eating away at you. The shit's eating away at you. It's literally fucking eating your energy. Like, by the time it's fucking eating up your energy, that's when it goes away. That's when you're completely and utterly exhausted and you just fucking pass out. And that's what was happening to me. I was like, you know, I'm just going to lay here and, you know, eventually I'll pass out, and, you know, I can't really go to bed. Like, I couldn't go to sleep, guys. Like, I felt mentally and physically tired, but my mind was thinking about all this nonsense. And, you know, when you're in that state, you know, when like you're overthinking shit, thinking about the past, you're thinking about the things that you could have done better. You know, it's like you can't go to sleep because that thought is just running rampant in your fucking mind. And it's changing the way that you feel. Whereas we should be in control of our thoughts. Our thoughts shouldn't be in control of us. That's a really good way to look at it. You have to, your mind doesn't control you. You have to learn how to control your mind. And that's part of like the discipline journey. That's part of the self-improvement journey. Like, a lot of the self-improvement shit, you know, getting disciplined, quitting substances, you know, hitting the gym, running, improving your life, making more money. It's more than just those things. It's more than just having more money. It's more than just being in a better shape. It's how it affects you mentally. It's how it shows that you can achieve like things. Like, you can put in effort into shit and it fucking happens and it manifests. Like, you can get a 6-pack if you try hard enough. You can make $1 million if you try hard enough. I've gotten a 6-pack. I kind of like regressed a little bit, but I'm about to come back. I haven't made $1 million yet, but that's one of my goals, right? Like, I want to make money online. I want to fucking be able to travel the world and make money from my computer. And, you know, I have a business and I do make some decent money, but unfortunately, because of the nature of this business, I'm kind of tied down to this location. So I have to come up with a new way of doing things if I want to reach that dream life. And every time I run, every time I go on one of these runs, every time I post one of these fucking videos, Every time I try to give the advice, you know, everything I've learned so far, it gets me a little bit closer to that goal. It gets me a little bit farther to that goal, like just a little bit. You know, uploading these videos, you know, even though I'm not making money off this, I can tell you guys right now, this uploading these videos literally does help me a lot with more than just money. You know, sometimes you have knowledge, and when you have knowledge in your mind, you have to spread that knowledge. You have to put it out there in the world. You have to tell people how you think. You have to show people new perspectives. You have to tell insane stories, or, you know, teach people how to be better versions of themselves. Like, that is going to come back to me. Every single person that I help with these stories, with these experiences, putting them out there in the world, if I can make someone's life a little bit fucking better, it's going to come back and it's going to reward me 3 times over. And that's how energy is. I mean, you send out energy. When you send out positive energy comes back to you. When you send out negative energy comes back, right? It's like a mirror. And you can also convert energy, like I was talking about in the video, right? I was in a negative energy state. And through the power of taking action, I was able to change my energy state from negative to positive. And this is a superpower, guys. Like, this took me a long time. This took me a long time to learn. And it may sound simple, like, oh, just fucking, if you're in a bad mood, just do something and feel better. No, guys, like, you don't get it. Like, it's harder than you think. Like, why do you see so many people? Why do you see so many people that are just down on their luck? They have like a dark cloud hovering over them. It seems like these people can't catch a break. They're making one bad decision after another. It seems like that they just have like bad luck and they just keep screwing up, and they're always in a negative mindset. And the farther you fall down in that hole, guys, the farther you fall down in that negativity hole, the harder it is to get out. It's not easy for someone who's had a bunch of bad shit happen to them and has made a ton of mistakes, a ton of bad mistakes for years. It's not that simple for them to just fucking switch their life around like that. This shit, it takes consistent time. Like, if you're addicted to something, if you have an addiction, or if you have this, or you have a problem, it takes time. It takes time. You have to reverse a lot of fucking thought patterns and fucking bullshit, and your mind playing tricks on you, and just random fucking bullshit that's holding you back. And, in a negative mindset, if you're in a negative mindset, you're not in a mindset to change your mindset. Like, if you're already thinking negative, if you're already down bad, you may not even be self-aware that you could change your life for the better. Like, you're just going through life, and it feels like life is just fucking punching you and hitting you and smashing you and shit. And you don't know why. You literally don't know why your life sucks so bad. You're at a loss of words. And maybe subconsciously, you're a little aware that you're not doing the things that you should be doing. Perhaps you're spending your money on stuff that's, causing you to be in a lower vibration, like alcohol. But that's the thing. These people that are down on their luck, man, they're not consuming that stuff to make their life worse. They're just trying to cope. They're just trying to cope with a dark reality. They're just trying to lessen the fucking load a little bit. A little bit of pressure gets released whenever they indulge in these activities, like the porn, like the drugs, like alcohol, like weed. And that's something I realized too. Why is most of society so addicted to bad habits, right? Why do bad habits rule our world? It's because life is hard. Life is hard for the average person. It's tough out there. You know, like, not everything you want is going to come to you easily. Like, your expectations. You're not going to have, like, 99% of people are not living their dream life. They're not. That's what they call it, a dream life. A dream. It's a fucking dream. It's almost like not real. It's just like a fucking fantasy in your mind. And yes, it is possible to make dreams reality. I've seen it. I've done it. I've seen others like pull it off. But most people just think it really is just a dream. And they stay stuck in the bad situation they're in. They stay stuck around toxic people. They stay stuck around the same substances, around the same video games, around the same bad habits that are holding them down in that position. And that's the thing. These bad habits that these people use to cope with this harsh reality, unfortunately, this is the trap. It keeps them there in that harsh reality. And that's what a lot of people don't get. Those coping mechanisms, they keep you in that harsh reality. And that harsh reality causes you to use these coping mechanisms to contend with it. And that's the trap. That's the trap of life. That's the trap of existence. That's the trap of a world full of bad habits. And when you realize, you have to realize this. You have to take this like leap of faith when your life is shit, that you got to give up these coping mechanisms to reach that next level. You have to withstand the harsh reality and give up the coping mechanisms to get out of that trap. And that's why this shit is so hard. That's why this shit is so difficult. Because, you know, when your life sucks and you quit smoking weed and you start getting withdrawals and your fucking car breaks down or you get a flat tire or your girl dumps you or your fucking dog dies, you know, all it takes is just some shit like that, a bad day at work, a rough ass day at work. They relapse. They go back to smoking that weed. Why? Because the reality, the harsh reality, they're not having this fucking thing to help them get through the day. They're not having this crutch to help them get through the day. So when all this bad shit's happening to them, it's kind of like coming at full force. You know, the training wheels are off. There's nothing there. Like, you're having withdrawals, you're fucking having a bad day. You know, life just feels like shit, you know? And that's why they go back to that same old bad habit, because they retreat back to the comfort. You know, we all do it. We all do it, guys. I do it too. You know, we retreat back to that comfortable spot where things just don't seem so bad. You know, you have a little bit of alcohol at the end of your work shift. It loosens you up. It makes you feel better. You forget about the fucking tough ass day at work. You feel a little bit better. You know, you loosen up a little. You relax. You're able to watch some TV and just chill for a second. And you forget about all the fucking hardship that you've been going through. But, you know, when you get home and it's a rough day at work and you fucking, you know, think about going to that alcohol, but you're like, you know, I want to quit drinking. Now you just had a rough day, and now you don't have that comfortable habit, that comfortable routine. So now you're just kind of like, fuck, dude, I'm stressed out. And you don't even know what to do with yourself. So it's kind of a cruel trick of life, I guess you could say, or a cruel trick of the human mind about how easy it is to get caught up in some of these cycles. You know, it starts off something so simple, something so innocent. You feel like you're in complete control of the situation, and then as the months go by, you lose control. It just becomes your life. It just becomes part of your normal life. And I've had friends like this, good people. I've had friends that are really good people. I've had one of my best friends. I'm still best friends with this guy, by the way, but he ended up in prison. We talk on the phone every day. But my bestie in prison, he couldn't claw himself out of the darkness. He just kept fucking up. He just kept falling back into those habits. And this is what I'm talking about. This is what happens when you let the darkness win. When you give up control, it destroys your life. It really does. It sets you back to zero. And my buddy in prison, it's funny. He said he could watch. He was watching his life fall apart before his very eyes. And he was completely self-aware as to what was happening. He said it was like watching a fucking movie. He said it was like watching a movie and you couldn't do anything. And he said he knew in his mind that he was eventually going to get locked up because of where his bad habits were taking him, because of where his life was going due to drugs and alcohol. And I love this guy. And it's crazy because now he's in prison and he got reset. He got reset to zero. And he told me, he said, man, I default, he's doing a lot better now. Like he was in a very, very negative, like a self-destructive mindset, self-sabotage mindset. This guy, super nice guy, wouldn't hurt a fly, super kind to other people, very generous, very nice, very chill. I'm just going to call him Matt. His name is Matt. He was a super nice person, but the only person he mistreated was himself. It's so weird how that works. Like, this guy was so nice to everyone, so kind, so generous. He would fucking give you the shirt off his back. But he mistreated himself so fucking bad. And we would talk. I tried to steer him clear. I tried to help him, man. I tried talking to him, and he knew what I was saying. He would say, like, dude, I get what you're saying. Yes, like it makes sense. But he just kept fucking up. Like, he was on a path of self-sabotage and self-destruction. And the way he described it to me, he said once he was on that path, it was like basically impossible to get off. Like the train was on the fucking tracks and the fucking runaway train was going. And there's nothing you can do to fucking stop that train until it fucking wrecks. And I've been there. I've literally been there. I've had a couple moments in my life where luckily I barely fucking escaped the abyss. I barely escaped dropping down to fucking zero. Barely. But I've been there. I've been in moments. I understood everything he was saying. Like, I had moments where I was just fucking up, getting in trouble over and over again, just doing bad stuff, just fucking, I couldn't get my act straight, man. Like, I was just doing everything wrong. And when he described that to me, it's like you're watching your life literally slip through your fingers right in front of your eyes. And I felt that so much when he told me that. I understood exactly what he meant. Everything made sense. Because I feel like we've all been in a moment like that. We've all had a moment where everything feels like it's slipping through your grasp. Where you're losing your money, you're losing your friends, your family. Control over yourself, control over your own body. You lose control over your own minds, your actions. You literally lose your free will. And I guess that's the point of this video. I was stuck in a negative thought loop. And I used my free will. I did an act of free will by getting up and going running and recording this video. And that's how you have to stop these negative fucking car crashes or train wrecks that are happening. Because, guys, if you're not careful, a bad day could turn into a bad week. A bad week can become a bad month. And before you know it, a bad month can quickly turn into a bad year. I've been there. I've fucking been there. It sucks. I think we all know it sucks, but the opposite is true, guys. This is the positive thing. I know this video has been very dark. Some very dark stuff I've been talking about. But the opposite is true. A good day can turn into a good week. A good week can turn into a good month, and a good month can also turn into a good year. That's how things work, guys. Like, I don't know how else to describe it, but I felt it, I've seen it, I've experienced it, I've seen others experience it. And really, it's just breaking the pattern. Like, if you're in a negative pattern, you have to interrupt it with a positive pattern. If you're in a negative trend, right? You're having a bad week, you gotta just have that one good day to break the cycle, guys. Like, if you're just having a rough fucking week, just one good fucking day, man. One good day. Just wake up with positivity. Wake up and say, this day is going to be different. It's not going to be like the others. This day is not going to be a fucking failure. This day is not going to be shit. I'm taking control. It's my life. It's my mind. It's my fucking body. And I'm not letting negative habits or energy or negative people ruin my fucking life. Leave a like and a comment. Leave a story. If you have any questions, just leave them down below, and subscribe to my channel. Peace.